When I was getting to know my partner and going through a lot of first steps with him, I was coincidentally reading a book that talked specifically about this, and it really made me think. People love timelines. People love being told that you cannot say I love you before X months, or getting married before dating for X years, or going to college after a certain age. I'm a grandma. I complicate things that could be much simpler. I overthink, and for me, I love you has a very specific meaning. Okay, I'm laughing because I think this can be very cringe to hear myself say, but for me, I love you was not just a feeling, and I know, I'm complicating, but for me, I love you was just not being in love. For me, being in love or feeling in love is different than loving someone, because for me, loving someone means that I will love them independently of what happens. It means that I will care to know how that person is sort of forever, because I think when you stop loving someone, a lot of times it turns into hate, but it's the same emotion. So you still love them, and it's because you love them that you're allowed to hate them. I don't even feel like I hate anyone in my life, so I don't know why I'm talking about this. But for me, love is a feeling that can be transformed a little bit, but that never will go away. And being in love is something that can be hormonal or just momentarily, or just a passing feeling. For me, I love you means wanting to build a family with that person, is being able to imagine myself living the rest of my life with that person, and that requires time. It kind of requires getting over the honeymoon phase. And here's the thing, while I'm sitting here being all philosophical about whatever love means to me, I'm completely aware that love is a feeling, and that even in my perspective, loving someone is much more of a feeling than I thought. Like, love is not an equation that you can solve and one day you'll wake up and be like, oh, I think I love you. Of course, there's a lot of types of love. There is family love, there's sister love, there's friends love, there's boyfriend love, there's self-love. And I do think that you can love and should love a partner without all of the things that I'm saying. And that is the point. We all live life through a dictionary. There's an agreement between everyone that lives in this world that when we say something, there is a specific meaning to that word. However, I don't think love is a cookie cutter term. I think loving someone and saying I love you will have a different meaning for everyone. Some people will tell someone I love you without even thinking about it, and that is not wrong. They felt it and they said it. Some people will get into a rabbit hole and ask themselves a million times if it's too soon or too late to say I love you. That's also not my case, but some people will be like that. It's not like we went to school and a teacher was like, okay, so today we're gonna be learning the definition of I love you, and you can only love someone if you check this checklist. Which is why, and you're probably gonna get frustrated at me, there is no freaking timeline to saying I love you. There's not a, oh, you said it too soon. Like 3 weeks? No, that's not gonna go well. Or like, it's been a year and you haven't told them you love them? You don't love them for sure. I mean, if you haven't told them yet, tell them told. When you say I love you, if someone says I love you back, I probably will guarantee you that they mean something different. And maybe it's super similar, but the funny thing in the book that I read, that by the way is called The 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty, not going to be talking about all the controversy that's been going around him lately. The thing I learned in that book is that everyone is talking about timelines in life, and I'm not even talking about just the I love you timeline. I'm talking about the college thing, the having kids thing. Like, sure, you probably, if you don't freeze your eggs and you want to have kids after you're 40, it's gonna be very difficult. But for most things in life, you don't really need to do them at a certain age. Like when I was in elementary school, I wanted to get my period so bad. I read somewhere, and I think it was in like science class when we were being taught the reproductive system, that girls had their periods for the first time between like 9 and 13 years old or something. I was 13 and I didn't have my period, and I felt like a kid. I was ashamed of it. I just wanted to get it so bad. And then like 2 years later, I got my period and it was fine, and I'm healthy, and it's part of adolescence and growing up to feel these FOMOs and to want to be ahead. That's part of our human nature. But another thing is to talk more about dates, than we talk about what they mean to us. I think a lot of miscommunication in relationships and friendships and parent and children dynamics is that two people are talking the same language, but they might not mean the same thing. Someone that's much more extroverted might say a lot of bad things in a fight that don't even mean that much to that person. They were just exploding and then they're fine, but for the other person, they thought it meant all of these things. And this wasn't even in the script of my video, I'm just rambling at this point. But have you thought about how we're all speaking the same language, but we might be saying different things? A lot of problems that we might face in our lives. And again, I'm not talking if someone said I love you back anymore, come from that. Now, going back to the I love you thing, unless you consciously know that you are lying when you say I love you, I don't think you'll be wrong ever for saying I love you, because you do love. The biggest thing I hear my friends talk about and people my age talking about is feeling behind. Oh, X person is already doing this. X person already got their dream job. X person already moved out of their parents' house. Everyone's complaining about feeling behind, really no matter what they're doing, because we're all comparing, this is so cliche, but like we're all comparing different parts of the puzzle when we're trying to fit them all in when it's not the same freaking puzzle. I tell my friends that I feel behind on college because I'm taking online college and I'm doing it super slowly because at the same time I'm working full time and I'm doing something I love, so I want to prioritize that. But I feel super behind on college. Like my friends already graduated and I'm here finishing my first year after I don't know how many years. And my friends say that they're behind on life because they haven't started working yet. We're always gonna be behind on certain things. I thought this was gonna be a super short video, but now I'm getting passionate about this subject. I think that when you are doing something that is either before majority of people do it or after a majority of people do it, you just need to ask yourself if you feel good, if you're doing it because you want to do it, and if it were to go all wrong, if you're okay with dealing with that. Does any of my other options bring me as much happiness and fulfillment as this one does? No. Then just do it. I moved out with a partner when I was 18 years old. I know a lot of people were like, she's making a mistake, she's too young. We're so focused on thinking that we need to be married before we're 30. If we don't, we're losers, or we're never gonna find the love of our lives. Or if we start a YouTube channel and it doesn't get X amount of subscribers before an X date, that we're doing it wrong. You're not doing it wrong. Are you feeling good about it? Are you doing it because you want to? If it goes wrong, is it gonna be okay? Then just do it. Most of the pressure that we put on ourselves, most of the silly Google searches we do, come from us not trusting our instinct and just wanting to belong, wanting to relate, wanting to fit in. And it is, again, human nature to want to fit in. It's what makes us build communities and friend groups. But we also need to learn to distinguish that from what feels good to us. See, I tricked you with this clickbait title, but this video is talking about something much bigger than just saying I love you. I think that if you think you love someone, you probably most likely do. And I believe that humans' life's purposes, and this was told to me by my magnificent dad, is to connect with other human beings. We're not here to be famous. We're not here to make tons of money. We're not here to make banana bread. We're here to connect with each other. And so if there's someone that you love and you haven't told them that you love them in a long time, if there's someone that you think you love but you're a little bit scared of saying it, just text them, call them, meet up, and tell them. And that is all I have for today. Comment below your thoughts. Let's make it a discussion, and we'll talk soon. Bye.